In September 1857, the Mughal Empire that had ruled much of India for centuries collapsed in humiliation. Its last emperor, once seated on the throne of Delhi, would soon be hiding in a tomb, waiting for his enemies to find him. By the mid 19th century, this once powerful Mughal Empire had become only a shadow of its former self. Real power in India was now in the hands of British East India Company. The Mughal Emperor Bahadur Shah Zafar was already an old man in his 80s. His authority barely extended beyond the walls of the Red Fort. In reality, he was more a poet and symbolic ruler than a powerful monarch. Then came the Indian Rebellion of 1857. Rebel soldiers from East India Company's army marched to Delhi and declared Zafar their emperor, hoping his name would unite the uprising. But the aging ruler had little control over the chaos that followed. Delhi became the center of the rebellion. For months, fierce battles raged as British forces laid siege to the city, determined to crush the revolt and end Mughal authority forever. By September 1857, British troops finally stormed Delhi after weeks of brutal fighting. The city fell. Rebel resistance collapsed, and the Mughal court panicked. The once Grand Emperor abandoned the Red Fort and fled with a few loyal followers to the Humayun's tomb, hoping to hide from advancing British forces. But the search for the emperor did not take long. On 20th September 1857, British officer William Hodgson located Bahadur Shah Zafar at the tomb. Surrounded and with no army left to protect him, the old emperor surrendered. The capture symbolized the complete downfall of Mughal authority. Shortly afterward, Hindustan also captured 3 Mughal princes. In a controversial but decisive act meant to prevent further rebellion, the princes were executed near Delhi. With their deaths, any realistic hope of restoring Mughal power disappeared. The fall and capture of Bahadur Shah Zafar marked the definitive end of the Mughal Empire, a dynasty that had entered India centuries earlier through conquest. The British authorities placed Zafar on trial for treason. The proceedings took place inside the very Red Fort where Mughal emperors had once ruled. He was found guilty. In 1858, the last Mughal emperor was exiled to Yangon, far away from the land he had once ruled symbolically. There, he lived the remainder of his life in quiet obscurity until his death in 1862. With his exile, the Mughal chapter in Indian history closed permanently. The rebellion of 1857 also led to a major shift. The British Crown dissolved the East India Company and began ruling India directly under the British Raj. The empire that had once dominated the subcontinent was gone, and the capture of its final emperor became one of the most symbolic moments marking the end of Mughal rule in India. If you want to learn more about forgotten battles, rulers, and turning points that shaped history, follow on this day, because history is full of stories that deserve to be remembered.